There we go. Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome. So Dr. Gail is here, skywalking the moon. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for inviting me. This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And we're streaming to both channels.
Yeah, we're streaming on both channels.
Oh,
All my people need to come to her
sorry
channel
about that.
to get into the chat.
Yeah. There's Linnea. Hi. Yeah, so we've got both channels going, so you may not see everybody's chatting, but we are here. And I'm Terry at Holding Your Space. So I forgot to introduce myself.
Yeah, well, because it's usually all your people.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so everybody who's needing to chat, you cannot do it on Dr. Gail-Skywalking with me. Come over to Terry's channel at Holding Your Space, and then you can just join in the chat there.
Yeah, and they can chat. I can see their chat, so I can still star their questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys can stay where you are if you want to, and I'll star your questions. And but everybody please like and subscribe to both channels because that helps our algorithms to get this stuff out there. Hi, Tina.
Usually getting choked up.
Oh, bless your heart. Hi, Butterfly Kisses. Michelle, welcome. Annie Bear, Darlene, Jen Carr, Deep Albuquerque. Cool name.
Yeah.
Faye Cole, Gina, Lulu Bubble. I love that. Isabel, Teresa. Hi, Teresa Levine. Linnea, Jeff at Tarot Ass Backwards, and Annie Bear, Susan Finez, Susie 007. I love that one.
Well, you know Susie. She's the one that usually helps me.
Oh, yeah. I know Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me. And Lori. I don't know if I mentioned Lori or not. So, Lauren. Anyway, welcome everybody. Oh, and Butterfly Kisses is here. So, and Lizanne. Hi, Lizanne. Long time no see. So, hey, Prince Charming's mom.
Yeah. I saw Son of Watt up there too. So, hey,
Who?
Son of Watt.
Oh, son of what? Welcome. Wow, that's great. Yeah, cool. And Debbie. So, hi everybody. But so we were going to talk today about a couple of different things. I wanted to um, ask you some questions, but I thought it would be really great because we were talking about Barbara Lamb and her definitions of different terms that we use all the time. That sometimes it's not that clear to everybody what they are, I feel like these definitions are very precise and they make so much sense.
Yes, they are. Do you want me to go into that now, or do you want to make your announcements?
No, you go ahead. You go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's Barbara Lamb, and I can't pronounce this name, Miguel Mendoza. Wrote this book, Meet the Hybrids. And what's in her book is the definitions, and I always refer back to it, especially when there's people in here who are kind of foggy about what we're talking about. And but she goes into it. And first off, it's a star seed. What the definition of a star seed? And it's a soul originating from outside Earth, which has incarnated into a form for a specific mission on Earth. This form can be human, animal, or other being. Now, that's a star seed, in which we talk about all the time. And then the star family is a being's familial relationships from realms beyond Earth. And when we talk about the star family, a lot of you have your star family show up in a spaceship and or show up in your bedroom at night, and a lot of times that is your star family. Also, we talk about light workers. They are a being actively working to raise consciousness, which that is a blanket term that we use for all this is we're all light workers. Hybrids, a being which has been genetically altered to be more than one species. And mission, a duty that a being is working to fulfill within the current incarnation. And ascension, a process of physical, emotional, and spiritual evolution. So there's quite a few more definitions in here, but Those are the ones that we talk about a lot. And here's another one: soul agreement, a pre-incarnation agreement made at the soul level to perform a certain role in the next incarnation. But I think these definitions hold true. I think this book was written probably, I don't know how many years ago, but these still hold up. I mean, they're very simple and they're very to the point. And we are always forgetting the people who are new coming in, and they don't know all these definitions that we're spitting out, all these terms that we're spitting out. So I thought I need to regularly go through that to help people on understanding what we're talking about.
I agree. And it's a nice refresher. And let me just say that I'm so impressed with you, Dr. Gail, but to have Barbara Lamb on too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, both of you together. I've watched the shows and they're phenomenal.
Yeah, she's excellent. Excellent. When she gets talking, you just sit back and let her go. She's so easy.
She is. She's so knowledgeable, isn't she?
Yeah, she is knowledgeable. She's so used to being in public and on you, or not necessarily YouTube, but she's so used to being in public and doing speeches and things, and she already has all her, things together. So yeah, she's just very. I wish I was her.
Right?
How easy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really has everything going on. Mm-hmm. Jen says, "Is anyone else having weird things going on?"
Oh man, yes, everyone's having weird things going on. I mean, I think we've just been ramped up. Everybody's having. I mean, I'm being contacted all the time about people having new experiences now, and people who've never had experiences before at all who are contacting me, who already know about me, so they're not quite as scared, but it is still sometimes disconcerting, or they need to understand what's happening.
Yeah, it is. It is nice to have that knowledge already out there, and I feel like the more that it gets out there in the public, then the government and whatnot will be out and more.
Right, I feel like we're more protected if we're in public.
Yeah,
because it's anyway. So I mean, my whole purpose of my channel is to make everything comfortable, talking about ETs and elementals and inner beings, owner beings, making it comfortable to talk about it, where everybody thinks you're crazy. So these channels are safe places to come talk to. We have moderators and people who are monitoring things that allow you to come and be comfortable and talk about your experiences. We won't think you're crazy. We probably will tell you exactly what you're experiencing and to explain it or make it more comfortable for you.
Yeah, exactly what she said. It's so true, though, isn't it?
It is true. I mean, you make it very comfortable for people to talk about things, too, that are not quite normal, that are not normal, that all your family members and everybody telling you you're crazy, you can't talk about it. And anyway, so I think it's very important to be able to come express yourself, come ask the questions, and and have a better understanding on what's going on. I mean, because I think one of the freaky things people have is when the ETs show up in their bedroom, and a lot of times it'll be two grays and a tall white or some kind of combination like that. Mm-hmm. When those three show up, that means there's a healing getting ready to happen. You're getting ready to be fixed. You're going probably on a spaceship. You're not going to remember much, but when those three show up in your bedroom, you better be excited, because you're getting ready to go have a healing process happening, or they're going to examine to make sure that you're okay. So be very excited when you see them.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So I don't feel uncomfortable when they show up in my bedroom or in my dream, but when I'm outside and I'm looking around at the stars and everything, I'm a little apprehensive sometimes. I'm like, show me when I'm ready, but don't pop up.
Oh, well, this used to be my whole probably 2 years ago, a year ago, I don't remember. You can show yourself, but don't scare me. That's all I used to say. I want to see you, but don't scare me. Well, when I did that, and I kept saying that over and over again, they sent 2 ETs to the dog park where I was at. I was the only one at the dog park. I was with my dog, and these two people showed up, a brother and sister. They walked in. They didn't drive up. They walked, which was first off unusual. And then they came in the dog park. They did not have a dog. And they came in and they first left the gate open. And in my mind, I was going, you better go back and close that gate. Some dogs can get out. Well, next thing I knew, she went and closed the gate. The sister did. And the guy came over and started talking to me. And then she came and sat right next to me. Now, there's plenty of tables and chairs and picnic tables. And I'm thinking, well, this is weird for her to sit right next to me and how close. Well, immediately she jumped up and went and sat somewhere else. And then the next thing, he's still talking to me. He was just a chatterbox. And she got up and started throwing the ball, picked up a ball and started throwing it for my dog. My dog does not chase balls at all. And she was going after the ball and bringing it back to her. I thought my dog was going to have a heart attack because she'd never worked that hard. And that went through my mind too. Guys, you better stop because my dog's not used to that much exercise. And she did. And so then they came and they were talking, and I was having this whole conversation with them. And then the conversation went off the rails. It was warm outside, and they started talking about coats. And I'm sitting there going, gosh, are these people autistic? What's going on here? Why are we talking about coats? And they're talking about these different types of coats, what kind of coat, and what happened to this coat. And I'm just going, okay, it's time for me to leave. I don't know what's happening here. So I got up and left. And it wasn't till the next morning that I realized those were the ETs they sent me that wouldn't be scared. If I had known that, and still reading my mind, going back and closing the fence, saying, don't sit next to me. You should be sitting over there. Stop throwing the ball for my dog. They were reading my mind the whole time. And I did not realize it until the next morning. And immediately I called Nancy Jean going, oh my gosh, they sent me 2 ETs that I'm not scared of, wasn't scared of. And I did not recognize it at that time. And she was throwing targets. She goes, yep, you did. And so anyway, you never know what's going to happen. But anyway, that's what they did. They honored what I wanted. I wanted to meet the ETs, but I did not want to be scared. So they did send me to meet. And if I had only known, I'd have had 1,000 questions for them, but I did. And and the biggest clue should have been when they were talking about coats that these people don't belong on this earth. This is summertime. So anyway, you never know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, right. You don't. And I've seen them before when I'm out and about. I think when I'm alone in my backyard. And I'm not afraid of the elementals because I can see them in the backyard. I don't know why I'm afraid. Sometimes I'm a little apprehensive.
Yeah. Because you don't know what they're going to look like.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a big spider that shows up or a grasshopper or what. Right. Even though I have seen them all in the 5D world, still I'm not sure how I would respond either. And also, you have to be prepared with the fact that when you meet these different beings in the 3D world, which a lot of them can't get to the 3D world. I mean, they can't bring their vibration down, but you are going to first have immediate fight or flight syndrome go over your body because their energy is so different than a human. So you've got to fight that, and you've got to fight the mental part of it. So there's a lot to, I want to meet ET. There's more than that's going to happen because you're just going to have some major physical responses to meeting one. So you got to be prepared. Your heart racing, you want to run, you immediately think you're in jeopardy. Your body does, and your mind's going, well, I really want to talk to him, but my body's wanting to run away. So you really have to be kind of conscious of that too.
How long did it take you before you were able to kind of look at them with awareness and not go into the fight or flight?
Well, I've not had one that has come down to 3D like that for me, except for showing up in my bedroom. And I still think I had gone to 5D. So, and I think that's where I meet most of mine as I'm going to them at 5D. And some of them are coming down from 7D to 5D, but I don't know how many of them. Actually, I think it's the grays that can come down to 3D, but I don't know that and I think the I won't call them grasshoppers, the praying mantis type, I think they can come down to 3D, but I don't know that there's a lot of them that can. So we have to go up there to meet them.
Did they look human? Were they?
Yes, they looked human. Yes, they were a little oddly dressed, and their mannerisms are a little odd. As I said, I thought, oh, they're just autistic kids. You know, they were young. They were probably in their 20s, and that's what I thought. But again, they sent me ones that I wasn't scared of. They looked human. They're just odd acting, which, you know, I'm okay with odd acting. So when so that was just a little too odd.
Well, yeah, and they are. You know, I had a question about that. Oh, wait a minute. Linnea says, and I'm starring everybody's questions, you guys. I have been very fearful of ETs most of my life. I wouldn't fall asleep without someone being with me as a young child. As an adult, I feel like I'm working when I sleep. Am I?
No.
I just thought that one.
Let me. I do a lot of process by writing.
Yeah.
So my immediate reaction is, yes, you are working, and that is your star family. That well, and also, I don't know how old you are, Linnea. The Greys were abducting people when we were younger because they didn't know what they were doing. They did not, because they did not have emotions. They did not know what they were doing to humans. They did not know how they reacted. They look at that. They compare that time in their journey as our journey when we had slaves. They compare it to that. That's a dark time in their time. They're not doing that anymore. And the ones that were doing it are not even on Earth. So I have a feeling you might have had a bad encounter with the ETs as a child. And as an adult, you have probably processed through that, and they have probably taken you up and explained those things to you. And so as an adult, I'm pretty sure you're working with them. Yes.
Yeah. I agree. My watch just started going crazy while you were talking about that.
Oh, really?
Lighten up. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely, Linnea. I think that,
she's 55. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So that would be about the right time.
Mm-hmm.
They were in my childhood too, coming around and helping me. But the ones that I see now are really in 5D. I agree. I'm in 5D because I'm either sleeping or meditating or just in between, in that in between.
Right.
So yeah, that's a great question, Linnea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, lots of great questions here. Wow. Okay. Hey, Sally. Yeah, so I had another question about that. So do you feel like those of the homeless or houseless group that there are ETs within this group?
Oh, definitely.
I do too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. In fact, I've seen one who was following me, and I couldn't understand why. And I would have to go back and look at my notes, but I've had one follow me before, and so yeah, they definitely are there. And I think that is where they really are in the heart of what's happening on Earth. A lot of those.
I agree, and I feel like so many people don't see the homeless or the houseless. You know, we don't. Just as a culture, I think we're not as. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's fearful for people.
I think I turned around to this guy and asked him if he was an ET, and he said yes. I think.
Yeah.
I've written it down, but I just right now I have so many of those things that happen to me that I don't remember the details of that.
That would be a great book.
Oh, well, you know, I've written my first book on just about my missions. I'm just now going through the editing part, which is just baffled me. I've got to rewrite the book for the 5th time.
Oh my gosh.
This is just like, it's been like oh no, I got to face this again. And then also it's got to figure out this computer stuff, how to do this editing on this, and just it has just overwhelmed me at this moment.
Yeah, I bet. I
About,
bet.
yeah, but my first book is all about my rescue missions of the ETs, and then my second book's going to be about my journey, how to get that I started doing all that, and I think I've got 3 or 4 books, and then I want to do a children's book, and anyway, there's a lot that I've got in line.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. Um, so we were also talking about the new the new ETs that are coming, the new galactic groups that are coming in to watch everything that's happening around the planet.
Mhm.
Um, how do you see them coming in, and what process do you see them being part of the process for our
Yeah, yeah,
transformation? Or?
they're definitely part of the process. They're interested in us making um, ascending for this planet ascending. It's actually, I'm not sure. Well, they're interested in the planet ascending, and the humans are part of the part that have to get the planet to ascend. So I think their biggest interest is actually in the planet, but to get us on board to allow the planet to ascend, or it is going to ascend. But yeah, that's what they're interested in.
And have you seen what they look like, or any idea of where they're from, or?
Oh, shoot, we have like 10 different species that are interested in us. What the It's the Palladians that are helping us the most right now on Earth, and
Yeah.
the Arcturians, I would say, are second. Now, the Arcturians help the Palladians ascend on their planet, so this is like payback. So they're here on Earth. The Palladians are here on Earth helping us ascend. So they're the ones that are most present here, and I'd say the Arcturian, of course, the Greys are here too. They might be more prevalent than the Arcturians. But anyway, there are quite a few species that are interested in us.
Yeah. And do you feel like there's new species that have come in behind them from other universes, perhaps?
I I personally haven't met the new ones. I mean, because I would say I meet more hybrids than anything, and they can take on different looks. Um, so I haven't met any new ones that I didn't meet 2 years ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, but I do work mainly with the hybrids. That's my biggest group that I work with.
And I have a funny question. So do you feel like, because since we decided to come into this mission, and since we answered this call to light workers, and we're here helping, do we get a freebie coming back or something? I kind of felt like today I got this thing in meditation where I was thinking we get, like, I feel like Earth is going to be this planet that everybody wants to come to after we go through the
Right,
process, like a vacation planet or something, because the density is so lovely here, and you can come here and you can smell things and see things, and
right.
it's a beautiful planet. Um, do we get like a free vacation or something coming back, like whenever we
Good
want?
question. We'll have to ask. We'll have to write that in our next contract. I want a free vacation on Earth.
Yeah, yeah, like when you go on vacation and you see the timeshare, do the timeshare
I
breakfast, right?
Yeah, I think we do get time off, and I think it's maybe years that we get time off. I don't think it's just like a 2 week vacation. I think we have time off, and then we're rewriting our what we want to do next. But yeah, but I'm not for sure. I haven't been there yet, or I can't remember. I have been there many times, and so have you. We just don't remember. They don't let us remember that part of it. But my feeling is we don't just get a little vacation. I think we get a big vacation.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, we get all the good
I
stuff.
did a vacation on all sorts of planets. Because I mean, I mean, my favorite planet I've been on is Venus. Oh my gosh,
Really?
that planet is just gorgeous. Yeah,
What's
that's
it look like?
well, it's very green, which we don't see the greenery when they're showing it, but it's just very green and lots of water, and it's hilly. There are some negative beings on there that you have to watch out for. But anyway, my experience there is just absolutely gorgeous there. My favorite spaceship is the Arcturian spaceship because it's made of like blues and purples, almost like my background, these colors. And you go on there and it has a little bit of amber on it. But that's my favorite spaceship. It's just gorgeous. The only negative about that one is it's extremely quiet because they're all telepathic. And here comes a noisy human. What is this? What is this?
I love it. I love it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's fun.
Well,
Troy. I don't know hypnicity. You check out Fun Boy.
Oh, hey, fun boy. We're going to be doing questions, but they're galactic questions, dear. Actually, he asked this the other day. So Callie Healer was on the other day. I'd say, why don't you come? I'll schedule something because I know you've been asking about that. And dolls can be kind of spooky, and they definitely carry energy. So, but Femboy has asked that before, and he's pretty cool about everything. Yeah. So, okay, I've got another question. Do you get like when you see downloads from the Galactics or ETs, do you see numbers or do you see letters? What kind of code does that come in, or do you hear it? Do you just know it?
I just know it. Actually, they're continually in contact with me. My left ear is like whenever I've got something to do or getting downloads, it starts cranking up louder. Especially when I was going on missions, I knew when it cranked up louder, it was time to go on a mission. And then it's lower. So I'm all the time getting feedbacks. I have gotten numbers. I don't get letters, but I have gotten numbers before. But but I am in constant contact with them. I obviously have a positive implant in that they immediately they're just constantly. I'm sure you do too. You probably constantly are connected.
I've always got a pretty full room, I like to say.
Yes, definitely. I know. I start naming all my guides, and everybody's looking at me, going, "Oh, wow."
Yeah,
I have a lot of them, and they all show up for. I mean, I have different ones for for healing shows, different ones for these shows, and they different ones show up for different things.
yeah, they do, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And and they all want to talk.
Yes. Get their input. Yeah, like somebody asked me a question. You have a question, and you're like, okay, which one am I going to listen to? Okay, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they're talking to each other about you, and yeah. It's really quite interesting. But yeah, it's a pretty full room filled with light usually.
But usually, I would say what I see are 1s, 0s, I guess X's. That's what I usually see: 1s, 0s, and X's.
So I just somebody just had a show about that.
Oh, really?
I'll have to find that. Yeah, and they were saying the same thing, that when that coding comes in, and I think this book that they were talking about is like 50 years old or something, but that is that is light language coming in and angel language, the 1s and the 0s.
Okay, and they're showing me now 10x2, 10x2. That's what they're showing me right now.
I got I woke up from a dream where I was half in, half out, and so 5D, and they were coming to me, and they were giving us all our own individual number, but we were all being labeled, not like at a concentration camp or something, but we were all getting our numbers on our arm, and we were going to go. I don't know if this had to do with takeoff or what it had to do with.
It sounds like a race.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It
Number.
does. Yeah. Yeah. And there we go. Far, far away. Aw. Yeah.
Hey, White Dragon.
Hey there. So welcome everybody. We haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody. We've got a good crew here.
I know, because see, as we heal each other by Purette and Wipes, here, of course, Hypnicity's here. Gina.
Yay. Yeah. So you want to get started on the questions?
Yeah, let's go for the questions.
We've got a lot coming in and a lot of new ones. Okay, got that. Got that. Oh, and I think this was more a comment. Lizanne said, "Thank you. I always wondered about starseed. I doubt I am one, but light worker fits."
Oh, no, Lizanne, yes, you're a light worker. You're starseed, and I believe, yeah. So you're both probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Light workers cover everybody. We're all light workers, especially anybody in this community. We're all light workers. We're all helping the earth ascend. And and then the starseed, you've got you're here. You haven't run away from this conversation. So you're obviously a starseed.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like sometimes the most important thing we can do is just to give out light and love. And
Right.
we don't all have to, a mission can be just that, right? Sending love to people and smiling and being kind. Because that's the other thing that I've kind of been seeing now is, the speed of light, but now it's the speed of love. Like everything jumps up.
Sounds good. Yeah, speed of love.
Yeah, it's getting faster, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody's moving faster because we have a job to do.
Yeah,
we're all coming out of our job.
Yeah, Hypnicity. I don't think we're doing the healings today, are we?
No, I'm sorry, Hypnicity. That requires me having a whole different group of guides here to do. Well, not a whole group. It's Medical Mike that shows up for those. So I have to call him in when I'm doing those shows.
Yeah. And Isabel, how can I enhance my healing powers? I would like to learn more and ask for alien assistance. Thank you.
I would love to hand you Medical Mike. He's a gray hybrid and he dances when it's time for him to work. Prancing, dancing. He's fun. So
wow.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He makes all sorts of faces. He makes me laugh all the time, especially in the healing. I think he tries to lighten it up for me because I'm getting real serious on trying, so he's always making faces and doing stuff and dancing around me, trying to lighten me up.
It's funny because spirit is funny, aren't they? They've got a great sense of humor.
Oh, yeah. Some of them do, and some of them are serious. And
yeah.
They all have different personalities. So, but he's my biggest comedian for sure. So how can I embrace my healing powers? I would like to learn more and ask for alien assistance. I don't know, Isabel, if you do meditation or not, because Terry does great meditations. And to me, that's where I enhance my healing powers and things. Now, meditation can look different for different people. It can be working in the garden. It can be driving your car, which a lot of people freak out when I tell them how much information I get when I'm driving my car. They're going, what minute? Anyway, so it can look different. Walking, being in nature, there's all sorts of ways that you can enhance your healing powers by just being open and opening that third eye and asking them to open that third eye and crown to receive it. Carrie, you can go with this one. This is right up your alley.
Yeah, I completely agree. Meditation is different for everyone. And for some people, it's being silent. For some people, it's guided meditations. For some people, it's math, or art or walking or gardening. Enhancing your healing powers is, for me, a lot of that is going into your heart space too, and intention. And then once you go in there in your solar plexus, you kind of can be in a state where you can look at things on a different level. And the more that you're intent in that, and the more that you go there, the more that you practice, the closer you get to that quantum healing place.
Well, I'm glad you can describe it because I could never identify it like that. I mean, my most surprising healing thing was when I came here to Mount Shasta. I was driving here and my trek across country, and when I got here, I was seeing people's X-rays. And I'm a chiropractor, and it was almost I was seeing their X-rays, but I didn't have them in front of me. But I was seeing people's X-rays, and so I'm calling a friend Meg, who has always helped me on my journey, telling me you're not crazy. And anyway, she says, "Oh, you're a medical intuitive." What? I'm looking all that up, going, "What's a medical intuitive?" And then realizing I'm not quite in the box of medical intuitives because there's so much. I do things so much differently than them, and I have my own thing going on. But I think that was my most shocking, Isabel, is the healing that all of a sudden I was seeing people's X-rays, and I didn't know what to do with it. But then all of a sudden I realized I could adjust people energetically. I didn't have to have them physically in front of me, and it also offered me a whole another array of abilities to see what was going on inside of a person. So, anyway.
So when you do that, are you consciously going also into your senses, like, your physical senses, but then your subtle senses, like knowing where they are?
I'm getting it from my guides.
From your guides.
Yeah, they're just telling me, like whenever I go into my healing sessions, it is not me. It's coming straight through me. My words are coming from what they're telling me. I don't remember a lot of what I say, and they'll show me the X-rays. I really, so I mine are not coming. I can't define it like you are. Like all I can say is my God. Yeah. Your definitions are great, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, really? Is that how that happens? Is that what's happening to me? I didn't know that."
But while you're saying this, I'm agreeing with you and thinking, well, yeah, because a lot of what I'm saying is not coming from me either. It's coming from spirit and meditations.
Right.
And that's why I don't remember a lot of times. And it's good to have those recordings.
It is good because somebody will come back and ask me, and I'm going, "I don't remember last time what I did on you healing." The guys have to come in. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Isabel, thank you, dear. Butterfly Kisses asking, I sure would love to know the details and purpose of my first in my awareness experience when I was 12.
Butterfly Kisses. I need a little more detail on that, probably. Like, what was your experience, Butterfly Kisses? Can you give us a little more detail? I don't know, Terry, can you answer that question? I'd like to have more details on that.
Yeah, I'd always like to have more details. Yeah, Butterfly Kisses, if you're still here, go ahead and let us know. And we might go on and take another question real quick. If you don't.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
Okay. Let's see. I want to go down and get okay, here we go. Tarot asked backwards, asked if he was a reptilian.
Oh, that's a good question. I forgot to mention that they are here too. And everybody don't freak out because not all reptilians are bad. Let's see. I get a yes. I think you've been other things too. I don't think you've just been a reptilian. I think you've been, yeah, that's a huge yes. You have reincarnated many different ET species. So you have been reptilian, but that has not been your biggest incarnation or your most impactful one. Let's see if you had a more impactful one. If I can come up with a more impactful one, I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, I think your most impactful one has been an Arcturian.
That's what I had just read too.
Well, that's what you got to. Yeah, I think your most impactful one is Arcturian, but you have been reptilian. That just wasn't your most impactful life with you. So I'm just getting a huge yes with all that. So Arcturian has been your most impactful.
Yeah.
You have been reptilian, but that just wasn't. And you were a good reptilian, but it just wasn't as impactful as the Arcturian.
It's really
now you have to research Arcturians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that, Terry?
I was getting that Arcturian too, and it was like as the Arcturian is at your core, and then everything else kind of blossoms around it. So that's your core soul family, probably is Arcturian. I'm not incredible on the Arcturians. Have you had Vivian on yet? Vivian Shamut? I think I sent you her information.
You did. I think we're going to revisit that in October. Yeah, I'm actually a human Arcturian. So I'm a hybrid. I'm Arcturian. So I am human Arcturian. So
And
I can tell you all about Arcturians.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
So that's me.
Well,
and I didn't know that until I was on the spaceship working, and the captain came to me and said, "This is a hybrid." So he was giving me orientation. This is a hybrid spaceship. Everybody that we work or retreat, because it was a hospital type of spaceship. Everybody we treat here are hybrids. Everybody who works on here are hybrids. And I'm bebopping along because I'm the only human looking one on the spaceship. And I'm bebopping along. I went, wait a minute. I work on this spaceship. I'm a hybrid. And that's how I found out I was a hybrid. And then my mother, who passed away, probably came to me a few days later and explained all that to me about how they came in and changed the DNA while I was in embryo, adding Arcturian. Anyway, so she came and explained it all to me. And I have been very involved in the hybrid program, with delivering babies that were hybrids, and also getting couples to adopt hybrid babies. So I've been all involved in all that. And actually, I was involved in all that before I knew I was a hybrid. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, but I suspected it when I was in that program. I was really suspecting that. Oh, wait a minute here. Maybe I'm a hybrid. But anyway, that's how I found out.
Was that like a couple of years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
I remember you talking about that, and Vivian is a Arcturian hybrid too.
Yeah.
So, and you guys look very similar.
Yeah, it took me quite a while, probably about 2 weeks to absorb it before I accepted it, because it really took me back, when I found that out.
Wow. Interesting. That's beautiful. Okay. Let me get rid of that. Can you see the starred questions? Do you want to pick some?
No, I can't see them starred. I just see that they don't. Yeah. Well, maybe I can. Let me see. Let me see if I can go up.
And if you see something that you want to answer, please go ahead. I don't want to, because we're both streaming.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look like I'm seeing this. Oh, wait a minute. There's one. I'm seeing starred.
Good.
My candle just went out. I wonder if that means something.
Huh.
I always burn a sage candle when I'm on air. Okay. You go ahead and pick.
All righty.
Go ahead.
Okay. Um, okay. This is a good question, Lulu.
Did Butterfly Kisses ever give her? I didn't ever see her come back. Did you see her?
I have not seen her come back yet. Has anybody else seen Butterfly Kisses? No, I think she might have stepped
She
out
said,
for a
no, she
minute.
said, yeah, there she is. She says, I responded.
Oh, good. Okay. Butterfly Kisses, did you
Yeah, it must be up there somewhere because she says she
okay.
responded.
Okay, I'll look for it while you answer Lulu.
Okay. Hey, Lulu. Does anyone know what's the deal with Anaki? Whole agenda that most big channels are pushing. I don't know. I know what the Anaki generally have a negative connotation towards them, but I'm not familiar with that, Lulu. If it's something that's negative, I tend not to engage in that because I try to keep my channel positive. It's not like I do try to get educated on it, but I'd be interested in what channels because I have seen those names before, but usually the Anaki, I don't know why there's usually a negative connotation. But anyway, go ahead, Terry. Anything on that? Have you seen them? Have you seen anything like that?
I've heard people talking about the Anunnaki and
But it's just basically saying the Inkai and NL Anunnaki.
Well, I know that some people say that they enslaved humans and that they're part of the dark energy here on the planet. I kind of don't look at the dark energy, but I do protect myself completely every day.
Exactly. That's what I do too.
Yeah. I don't give it a lot of credence. I have seen it in remote viewing and I have seen it in uh, a few things like around the wars and whatnot, that there's a dark powder or something, but I don't know that that's Anunnaki or what that is. Spraying rose water, Annie, right?
Yeah, because Anunnakis who came here for the gold and then enslaved the humans to mine that gold.
Yeah. So I don't, I know that there's a lot of people big on that. And there's also a lot of people that do a lot of the news and whatnot. And I kind of feel like.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that do go into the negative energy. I tend not to.
Yeah. I don't either. It's not my gig.
Not much.
Okay. Let's go back up and let me find the beginning of your, here we go. Butterfly Kisses.
Oh, okay.
I sure would love to know the details and purpose of my first and my awareness experience when I was 12. And then I got the end of it. Okay. It was a light at my window. I heard my guide say, "You can't stop them."
Oh, wow. Okay, let me get into that. Butterfly Kisses. Oh, of course you couldn't stop them. I feel like they were your star family. That's why your guys are saying you can't stop them because they are your family. Let me make sure about that. That's what I'm hearing. And let me see if they were there for education or healing. They were there for educating you. And you went on the spaceship. So, Butterfly Kisses, that was your family, and they were taking you up to the spaceship to educate you. And yeah, apparently you actually were younger than 12 when they started. that was your first awareness of them? I know I started as an infant going up to the spaceship. And actually Barbara Land regressed me back to how young I was. And I was an infant when I started going up. Let me see if Butterfly Kisses was an infant. Yeah, you were an infant also, Butterfly Kisses, when you were going up. We might have been in the same room together. Yeah, because it was a weird oval room where we all had in these little. Anyway, I'm not going into details of that. I have to read up on that again too to get all the details. But it was very interesting to find out how they did that. How they brought us up into this room and then put us in this another big room with mattresses, and we were just tiny, tiny. They hooked us all up to this stuff, and anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Is that like part of a hive thing where you're all hooked up and interconnected?
No, we weren't. It wasn't a hive thing because we all were in their individual kind of incubators.
Okay.
We were all getting different information, and we had. I do remember we had one ET taking care of two, I think, and she put one in and hooked it up, and she was holding the other. I remember that part, and she's standing over there, and then she pulled that one out and put that one, the next one in, and holding on to that one. And anyway, it was extremely interesting. And I didn't know about that part of it. I knew I was going up as young. I thought I went up as like a 2, but I didn't realize I was going up as like itty bitty baby, practically out of the womb. Started going up, and it's part of training and teaching.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Butterfly Kisses was too. So we might have been in the same room together.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Butterfly Kisses. Thank you for your question.
Let's see. I remember talking to the universe from my crib before I could speak. Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's beautiful, Butterfly Kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. I'm not always really good at the technical stuff. Sorry, everybody.
I definitely am not. Susie always helps me with.
She's really good.
Look, we've already seen this one.
We have, haven't we? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Rossi, any message from my star family?
Oh, how cute. Okay, you can go ahead and start with that one.
Rossi,
I need to pull a card for that.
Okay. Rossi, I feel like your star family is always there with you. And it's, again, these cords that we're working with, the crystalline energy, and you're interconnected with them. And there's a protection there. There's also they're helping with all the new light and the density that's coming in for you. So you'll feel that coming in, not just through the back of your heart chakra, that abundance, but also the front of your heart chakra. It kind of goes in and out. So it's helping to balance, and it's also helping with your light codes as things change, but it's also helping. It's helping with healing. So Rossi, I don't know if you're doing healings or if this is something that you're working on, but it's doing something with healings as well.
All right, I pulled out of my Rebecca Campbell Starseed Oracle deck. I love this deck. This is my favorite one.
That's beautiful.
The card I picked up is Empathetic Starseed. And what it's saying is energetic sovereignty, you absorbing what's not yours. So this is a warning, Rossi, is that you're absorbing that's not yours. And that would be part of the healing that you're talking about. You've got to protect yourself. You've got to figure out what's your issues and what's their issues and not absorb it. So this is what they're asking you to do, to be, you can be, you're an empathetic starseed, but you need to have energetic sovereignty. Protect yourself from collecting everybody's energy.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes those cords need to be cut, and sometimes they're good cords that come in. But so acknowledging which ones you still need.
And it also could be her healing, that she might be hanging on to their energy if she's doing some healing.
Yeah. Jen Carr asks, Dr. Gail, can you see if I'm doing missions yet?
Okay, let me see. It looks like to me you're on the beginning stages of it. No, Jen, not yet. It looks like you're training. Yeah, you're in training. You're not doing missions yet. You're still in training. So there you go, Jen. Eventually you'll be doing missions, but not quite yet. All right. What do you got, Terry?
I get a beautiful energy in your crown chakra, Jen. So whatever you're working on, and you're working on that, not transition, but enlightenment, transformation. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So there's a transformation coming in, but you're getting that purple flame. So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. She's on the spaceship training. She's going to be doing missions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is beautiful hypnicity. I've started seeing white or dark wisps around some people. Are they ETs or spirits?
I get that they're auras almost. What do you get, Terry?
Yeah, I get that they're auras. They're also like energy fields, which is the same thing. You're seeing their energy fields, and you're probably seeing them on different dimensions as well. So you might be seeing their future selves, their past selves, and because right now everybody, the time dimensions are interchanging. Everything's kind of clicking, going up and down and around.
Yeah.
So that's what I think they are.
Yeah, I think that's it too. It's more their energy fields, and yeah, I agree. That's what it is. There you go, hypnicity.
Yeah, thanks, hypnicity.
She says some feel very negative. Yeah, probably when they're at the 3D. I'm just kidding, but you're probably very sensitive to it. Where you're seeing the white, it's more like the 5D, and the dark is the 3D, and so it's probably that's what you're feeling, don't you think, Terry?
Yeah, definitely. And if you're seeing them in different dimensions, they could be doing something that's very 3D. Yeah. So, okay. We'll go on. There was somebody else here. Let's see. Oh, I do want to, I don't know that this is a question, but I really wanted to acknowledge Kathleen's comment. Tom T. Moore just recently said that yes, after 7,000 years, when humans have ascended and moved on to the next steps, that Gaia will be restored into all her glory and be a destination vacation planet.
Yoo-hoo!
Well, I think we should write into our contracts here right now.
Maybe I'll write my contract.
We get a time here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to want to come back, but if you've got several years, you might want to go. I mean, certainly I'm going to go to Venus. I mean, that was, a destination vacation. So you might go to several different planets. The Solaris Healing Star, that was a great place to visit too. So I don't know. I'm sure I'd want to come back to Earth too, but there's a lot of other places to go to visit.
Right?
Vacation.
Yeah. And here, this is another comment, I think. Lori says, finding out that I am a starseed on Dr. Gail's channel a few years ago was the first thing I heard that made my entire life make sense to me.
Yay! I love hearing that. I love hearing changing people's lives. I love having a safe place for us to change lives.
Yeah. It does make so much sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because often we don't feel like we belong.
Right.
Julie Johnson. Hi, Julie. Hi, Gail. Go out and help with the earth energy beings. It appears they focus on emergent things on the planet. Who are they? I must be one.
Well, Julie, I've been working with the elementals big time here lately. They've sent me out to repair ley lines, which I don't know why. They came to me one day and go, "We're the elementals," and then they came and asked me for help, and they've given me all sorts of assignments that I've had to do, and it has to do with the earth energies, repairing ley lines. I've had to do all sorts of things with them, and the most fascinating ones that I have that I work with all the time, which is really weird, are the elementals that they showed up on vegetables and fruit. They were riding fruits and vegetables, and I put them in the fairy realm, but I'm not sure who they really are. And my main elemental is a guy that rides a pea. So,
You ride the what?
a pea, like a green pea.
Agree. Okay, that's what I thought you meant. It's like, what?
And he's the one that, anyway, there's been all sorts of stuff. That's like a whole nother book that I'm going to have about elementals I work with. But I do talk about that a little bit on my channel, about how they have come and how noisy they were. They were so noisy that they woke me up. But yeah, I'm not sure. So you are one of them, Julie, is what you're saying. I go out and help with earth energy beings. Yeah, same with me. Where do you live, Julie? I'm in Mount Shasta in California. So it sounds like to me you might be focusing on or doing a lot of what I'm doing. It appears they focus on emergent things on the planet. Who are they? And I'm going to say they're the elementals that you're working with, Julie, because that's who I'm working with. So are you here, Julie?
Julie, are you still here, dear? I don't see her.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say the elementals. I don't know which one because I've worked with the gnomes because I had to connect some stars to trees for communicate. Anyway, I have done all sorts of things. My latest adventures was a dragon who came in the wrong portal and was stuck here. And we had, you're near, oh, well, that would make sense. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That got you out there working. So good for you, Julie. I'm glad I have somebody else who's out there doing these things too. So good for you, Julie.
They've gotten really noisy, the elementals.
Oh my gosh, yes, they are.
There are some nights this spring that it was hard to sleep because there was so much noise out there.
Yeah.
But let's see, what else did she say? The West tall cloaks look like solid white beings.
Let me see if there's a tall whites. Yeah, that's the tall whites. Those are the ETs. That's the tall whites.
Beautiful, Julie.
Yeah, white freaked me out. Well, I can understand that, Julie. But they are the tall whites, and they are good ones and they're bad ones. Looks like you're working with the good ones. Oh yeah, big time. So that's who they are. They're called the tall whites, and that's who you work with. I thought for sure it was the elementals, but it's the tall whites.
Wow.
So let me see if you're working with the elementals too. Let's do it with the elementals too. Yeah, but it is mainly the tall whites. That's who you're working with. So you're in a whole different area than I am than Julie working with the tall whites. But that's who they are, and they're good. Don't worry about them. In fact, as I said before, usually when I see a tall white and grays together, that means they're getting ready to do a healing session on you. And so when you see that pairing together, you get excited because they're getting ready to do something good for you.
Oh, that sounds like heaven. It sounds like a little retreat there.
Usually you don't remember it, but sometimes they'll allow you to remember a little bit of it.
Okay. Debbie asks, which species would I align with energetically?
usually get Palladians, but let me see. What would y'all tell me? That's not who you would line up mostly with. It's got grays. Let me see about the Arcturians. I wonder if this is an Arcturian show. Or you do align more with the Arcturians. Yes, it's the Arcturians. Wow. Yeah, everybody's aligning up with the Arcturians today. It's usually dominantly over Palladians and the Greys. But I think, Debbie, you are aligned with the Arcturians and the Palladians. I think you're aligned with the combination. Go ahead, Terry.
I'm getting that too because I pulled relationship card.
Right.
So, and that beautiful dark blue, and I also pulled telepathy in that light blue. So I would definitely
cards
put that in. Aren't they pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So lots of intuition, Debbie.
Yeah, Debbie, you're aligned with 2 at least. And that's not uncommon. And especially that's not an uncommon combination too.
How are you doing on time, or just a little bit over?
We're going to need to end it soon.
Okay.
I think actually, people don't like watching anything that's over an hour much, as I find out.
Yeah, they really don't, do they?
Yeah, no.
So, well, thank you everybody for being here. We better get going. What are you doing next, Dr. Gail?
I don't know what I'm doing next. We're taking a couple of months off, and we were just doing hit and miss. We both, Susie and I, had some things that we were needed to do for the next couple of months. So we decided we hadn't had a break in years. Let's take a break and let's just do hit and miss pop-ups, during the time when we get a time. And anyway, that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back soon.
I love that. Well, have fun. Enjoy it. Yeah. I'm going to be on and off a little bit too. I've got going up to see my brother in Denver, and my daughter's coming home next week. So,
yay! But didn't you have a few announcements to make?
Did I?
I
do have Candy on the show tomorrow morning at 9:00, and we'll be doing personal readings. And Candy Mullen.
Oh, okay.
She's a Reiki healer and intuitive. And who else? We've got several people coming on next week. I'm sorry. I don't have my calendar.
You always have so much activity on your channel. I can't hardly keep up with it.
No, thanks. We've got Marina. I know Marina's coming on, and Deanne is coming on. So we'll be busy. I'm trying to get I have a woman in Australia that's a healer, and she heals with the shaking, and releasing
shamanic shaking.
Yeah. And it's really nice for healing trauma and releasing it out of your body. So
the shamanic practitioners use the shakers and the drums.
Yeah.
It's actually, which I've been exploring a lot lately by default.
Yeah.
Yes. It just seems like I have so many shaman practitioners in my life that by osmosis, I'm learning a lot about it.
That's amazing. I'd love to do that. Yeah. That's incredible. Well, thank you all for being here so much. And Dr. Gail, thank you for being here. And mods, thank you all for being here. So be sure and like and subscribe to both channels if you can.
Thanks, Terry, for having me.
Oh, yeah. Well, are you kidding? Yeah, I do this all the time with you. So it's perfect. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Namaste.
Bye-bye.